সবাইকে ঈদ মোবারক। অ্যাজ ইউজুয়াল আমরা আমাদের অনুষ্ঠান শুরু করব রিসাইটেশন ফ্রম দ্য রিসাইটেশন অফ হোলি কোরআন। তো ফরিদ আজকে রিসাইট করবে।
আমি শুরু করতেছি স্যার। আউযু বিল্লাহি মিনাশ শাইতানির রাজীম। বিসমিল্লাহির রহমানির রহিম। ইন্নামাল মুমিনুনা আল্লাযীনা ইযা যুকিরাল্লাহু ওয়াজিলাত কুলুবুহুম ওয়া ইযা তুলিয়াত আলাইহিম আয়াতুহু زادتهم إيمانا وعلى ربهم يتوكلون قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين। অর্থ বলতেছি, প্রথম আয়াতটা ছিল সূরা আনফালের 2 নম্বর আয়াত। আল্লাহ তাআলা বলেন, মুমিন তাহারাই যে যখন আল্লাহ তাআলার নাম লওয়া হয় তখন তাহাদের অন্তর কম্পিত হয়, এবং যখন আল্লাহ তাআলার আয়াতসমূহ তাহাদেরকে পড়িয়া শোনানো হয় তখন ওই আয়াতসমূহ তাহাদের ঈমানকে দৃঢ়তর করিয়া দেয় এবং তাহারা আপন রবের উপর ভরসা করে। 2 নম্বর আয়াত ছিল সূরা আনআমের 162 নম্বর আয়াত। আল্লাহ তাআলা বলেন, হে মুমিনরা, হে রাসূল, আপনি মুমিনদেরকে বলুন, নিশ্চয় আমার নামাজ এবং আমার সকল ইবাদত, আমার জীবন এবং আমার মৃত্যু সব কিছু আল্লাহ তাআলার জন্য, যিনি সমগ্র জগতের পালনকর্তা। আমিন। সাদাকাল্লাহু আল-আযীম।
এখন আমরা উর্মি অ্যানথেমটাকে শোনাবো।
উচ্ছল ছন্দে উর্মিতে আমরা আনন্দে ভালোবেসে কাজ করি, নিজ হাতে দেশ গড়ি। উর্মি আমাদের পরিবার, উর্মি আমাদের অহংকার। উর্মি আমাদের গর্ব, উর্মি আমাদের আমরা রইব বিচল। কর্ম আমাদের ধর্ম, সাফল্য আমাদের লক্ষ্য। উর্মির বিজয় নিশান, একতায় আমাদের বল। উদ্দাম উচ্ছল ছন্দে উর্মিতে আমরা আনন্দে ভালোবেসে কাজ করি, নিজ হাতে দেশ গড়ি। উর্মি আমাদের পরিবার, উর্মি আমাদের অহংকার।
এখন আমরা ইমপ্যাক্ট আমাদের উর্মি গ্রুপের যে ইমপ্যাক্ট সেটাকে বলবো। প্রথমে অনুরোধ করবো ইফতেখার।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আমি মোহাম্মদ ইফতেখার আলম। আমাদের ইমপ্যাক্টের প্রথম আই হচ্ছে ইন্টিগ্রিটি, সততা।
মিউচুয়াল ট্রাস্ট, পারস্পরিক বিশ্বাস।
মিউচুয়াল ট্রাস্ট, পারস্পরিক বিশ্বাস।
প্যাশন ফর এক্সিলেন্স, সেরা হওয়ার উদ্দীপনা।
তারপর
এজিলিটি, কর্মতৎপরতা।
কাস্টমার ফোকাস, কাতারদের প্রতি নিবেদিত।
টিমওয়ার্ক এন্ড কোঅপারেশন, দলবদ্ধতা এবং পারস্পরিক সহযোগিতা।
আমি আমি আমাদের এমডি সার্কাস বলবো আমাদের ট্রেনের সাথে একটু পরিচয় করে দেওয়ার জন্য। স্যার,
থ্যাংক ইউ বলার। আবার সবাইকে ঈদ মোবারক। আশা করি অন্যরকম একটা ভালো কেটেছে, বাসায় বসে বসে সবাই ভালো কেটেছে। রঞ্জন, good morning to you from all of us.
Good morning. Good
I
morning.
think you're a good morning, Ranjan.
Yeah, great to
I
hear
hope you had a safe flight back to
স্যার
Sri
সাউন্ডটা
Lanka.
অস্পষ্ট।
সাউন্ডটা মানে কম,
সাউন্ডটা অস্পষ্ট স্যারের।
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear. Yeah, please say.
Bilal, আমাকে শোনা যাচ্ছে?
হ্যাঁ শোনা যাচ্ছে স্যার, একটু সামনে এসে বললে হবে স্যার, ক্লিয়ার শোনা যাচ্ছে।
Yes, I did.
Ranjan, I hope you had a good flight back, and are you in home quarantine or hotel quarantine?
Actually, the flight was quite a tedious one. It took us 20 hours to arrive, including 10 hours in the Dhaka airport and 6 hours in Colombo. I'm in hotel quarantine. Everyone has to go into quarantine. So I opted to pick a hotel. We can pay and stay in a hotel rather than be in the army camps. So that helps me. So it's a beautiful beach resort here called the Blue Waters. But the thing is, we can only watch it from the balcony. We cannot go out of the room. Everything is delivered inside the room, including food. I mean, just at the door. No one comes in. We need to clean our own rooms. We can, of course, get a change of linen and, of course, the food. But it's interesting. It's a retreat. I'm doing a lot of mental practices, and we have a beautiful balcony to see what's there and feel and hear the beach, but not necessarily go into it. But it's fantastic. I'm really glad I'm back. But it was worth the tedious journey. Was worth it. Yeah. Thank you.
Hope you get over it and go back to have the reunion.
Yeah, 12 more days. Yeah.
12 more days, yeah. Most of us know Ranjan actually. So today Ranjan will take the session for next 1.5 hours. So I hand over the entire thing to Ranjan and his team. It's to you now, Ranjan.
Thank you so much. So Eid Mubarak, all of you, and Assalamu Alaikum. So nice to see all of you, and it's also nice to see that you're practicing what we started doing in room sessions onto online. It was great to hear the Urmi song again, and you going through the values, which is fantastic. I'd like to quickly introduce my team. So if my team members can quickly switch on your mic and introduce yourself. Tanzi, can we start with you? Is Tanzi around? So, or Prarthana, if Tanzi not around.
Yeah, I'm there. Hi, good morning.
Hi, Prarthana. Good morning from all of us.
Yeah. So yeah. Prarthana is from
yes,
Sri Lanka.
Yes, I'm Prarthana. So, yes, Eid Mubarak to everyone.
Yeah, good. So Prarthana is the one who's handling all the back house stuff. And is Tansi around here, or can you just call? I'm sure she must be around.
Hi, I'm here.
Okay, there you are. Okay. So Tansi Yusuf is also from my colleague in Sri Lanka. And would you like to say 1 or 2 words quickly?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Tanzi. Mubarak to everybody, and hope this journey is going to be enjoyable and learning, and stay safe.
Okay. And also we have my colleague from the Dhaka office, Rashid. Rashid, are you there? Yeah, maybe. So we'll Prarthana quickly send the message too. But we'll start off. So today we are here to go on a journey. It's a 2-part session. So we'll do 1 part today, and within about a week, we'll find a suitable date and have part 2. because it's a process. So you need to have in your mind, there are a lot of learnings which is going to happen today, and take notes. I hope you have your workbook with you. We had already sent you by email. If the workbook is not there, we will be showing the workbook on the screen as well. So you will still have the page appearing on the screen. If you have the workbook on printed out, which is great, then you can start writing notes onto the workbook like we do in the in-room sessions. If you don't have a printout, you could either type it into a device or have a notepad and make notes. There's going to be activity. This is not a one-way talk. You're going to have a lot of activity with each other, a lot of conversations and practicing mental techniques. So we're going on a journey together, trying to replicate something quite similar to what happens in room with the technology we have. So please take your books out. In terms of rules, we also request you to have your mobile phones off and be on time. You're on time, thankfully. Otherwise, of course, it's difficult to get you to sing. We like at our sessions where we get all of you to sing if you are late. However, we still request you to have your phone switched off. And when you want to speak, put your hand up and switch on your mic and speak. And also you can use the chat and chat into it. You also had instructions that you need to find a partner and know who your partner is. Now, if you don't have a partner, the reason we have a partner is there are some exercises where you need to contact the partner on a smartphone, maybe on a WhatsApp video call, and do a partner exercise on the WhatsApp video. So therefore, hope you have a partner. If you haven't a partner, you can quickly put your name on the chat so that someone else can quickly connect with you and partner with you. So that way you have a partner. So make sure you have a partner in the next half an hour. So find your partner as the process goes on, whilst listening to me. Because then when the partner exercise starts, you can directly go and talk to the partner. And also we invite your family members to be taking part. I hope some of them are already there. Greetings to all the family members as well, because this session will be useful for everyone. It's a personal development session. So please do invite them to be around as well, so that they could also follow the process and also learn something out of it. So that's a little bit of the guidelines that we have to start off with. So today's session is releasing, more specifically mental releasing. So let's try to understand what releasing is. We have a lot of negativity stored in our mind, in our hearts, and it's about releasing. So what are the things we are holding on in our hearts and minds? First of all, given the current pandemic, we are holding on anxiety, anxious to know what's going to happen tomorrow, next month, about business, about the work. We are also anxious about the virus also, which is spreading. Will we get infected? If that happens, what's going to happen? So we're keeping a lot of anxiety in our mind with regard to the disease itself and the resulting economic aspects around it. I know there's a lot of positives which have happened, and I'm sure you heard about all the positives in so many webinars you would have had all this time, so I'm not going to repeat the positives, which is all great. It is great for the environment, it's great for family time. A lot of things have happened. It's reduced vehicles on the road, and ozone layers are getting healed. So that's fantastic. But what's more important today is to focus on what's worrying you and anxious. In addition to the worries and anxieties, we also have wants. We want certain things. I want safety, or I want to control things. I want to control the pandemic. I want to control the economy. I also want people to approve of me. So there's certain wants we are having. And when you have a want, that also creates negative energy, because actually we have all of that. Allah, God has given us everything what we need. So it's already available. But whilst we have everything, when we still want it, that is going to be a challenge. So we are going to get rid of the wants and appreciate the haves in the process. So to give the concept a little more, if you go back to the before you were born, when you were in your mother's womb, everything happened to us. We didn't try to control anything. You know, we got our nourishment, we got our comfort, we got our safety. We grew to a level where we gave birth and came into this world. And even in this world, we were given everything. Everything happens naturally. Our heart beats naturally. We don't beat the heart. Is there anyone who here beats your heart? No, it's a natural thing. Breathing is a natural thing. It just happens. And the growth happens naturally. However, we human beings start trying to control things. When we have so much natural things, we take unnatural food intakes, maybe. We try to get egos into our mind and a lot of things. And therefore, all those start becoming negative energy. Sometimes it could be ego, competition unnecessarily, where you try to, unethical competition, try to get through to others and all that. I'm not saying
Ranjan, we can't hear you. Pratana, we can't hear Ranjan.
in the Bible it says.
Yes, let me. We can't hear you,
You were
Ranjan.
missing for a minute or less than a minute. So can you go back a little bit?
Okay.
Ranjan, we can't hear you again.
Can you hear? Sorry.
We can hear. Why don't you switch off your video and then try for a few minutes?
Yeah, I switched off the video.
Yeah,
Already.
now you're clear. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so we'll keep the video off for a while. The line is not very stable here. I'm just managed to get a router into the room, but I haven't connected that. So I'm on a different hotel connection. That's why it's dropping. So let me know immediately if it's goes off. It's
Okay,
clear now,
sure.
right?
Yes, now it's clear. Yeah.
So as I said that in all spiritual practices, if you take the Bible, and I'm sure the same is there in the Quran, it says, God will look after those who look after themselves. So we need to take care of ourselves, and then everything we need is there. What has to happen? And so therefore, the question is, in that case, why are we trying to control everything around us? Why are we trying to get anxious about things we don't know, things which is not going to happen? We have the ability to assimilate what's going to happen, and also with the ability to respond to it. So therefore, this whole process is about releasing, is about letting go of all that unnecessary concerns and wants we have, so that we start opening up the abundance channels. When you do that, you will have the positive energy flowing towards you from the Almighty, from the universe, everything which is there. So that's the whole concept behind releasing. So I want to give 3 concepts that we are going to work on. Concept number 1 is we are going to talk about real issues. Whilst we started with a very spiritual note, but we are going to take real issues that concerns us yourself, your family, your team members, and we're going to focus on real issues today. We're also going to go with the belief that there's a higher power. And I'm sure no one is going to disagree with that. And that higher power is each one of you makes sense of the higher power in your unique way. Some of you would make sense of the higher power in terms of Allah or God, Jesus. There are other, if you take a Buddhist philosophy, it's a universal energy system. And we call that higher power the higher energy, the beingness. You know, there's some power which says we need to just be. We are, after all, human beings. We are not human becomings. We are not human doings. Okay? But we need to just be in the moment, which again, Tansy can talk about it. It's about mindfulness. We are being there in the moment. So it's about beingness. It's a higher power. So one is real issues. While doing real issues, we believe that there's a higher power. And the third thing I want you to also remember or notice is what we are going to learn today, you might see it as illogical. You know, what is illogical means is illogical. Okay. You might think, oh, that's not logical. How can that be? Okay. And whilst that thought will come, because you will think something is illogical because you're looking at it from one frame, your current frame, you're looking at it. Sometimes if you rise up to a higher level, a spiritual level, you will start realizing, oh, it's actually logical. Or for example, when we say that, you know, we will be fine, you know, we don't have to control things, that sounds so illogical. But I request you to hold judgment. Please do not try to judge immediately and to disregard it. Just be with the idea. Just try to understand it. Get into another level. Put a different pair of glasses or look at it from a different frame and try to see what we are understanding, what we are talking about. So three important things. We're talking about real issues, beingness, and illogical. At this point, I would like to hold on for a minute. If anyone has a question, you can ask it, or any comment. You can even type it in. We'll try to have a look at the chat window. Any questions, comments? And I hope the English is simple enough for everyone to follow. I found that whenever I did sessions, all of you had a good understanding of English. Right, so I don't think there's any questions coming up. So let me move on to the next point. So this whole concept of releasing was invented by a gentleman called Lester Levinson. So let me talk about the history behind what you're going to learn. Now, Lester Levinson was so Lester Levinson had a normal corporate life. He was working in business, and he was so busy every day, like some of us are, going to work, coming back home, you know, didn't have proper exercises, was not careful about what he was eating. So at the age of 42, he developed a very serious heart condition. And after many doctors' visits and tests, the doctors said, your condition is so bad, there's no hope for you. We cannot do anything to cure you. So we request you to go back. You have maximum 3 months to live. So go back home and get your issues sorted out. Get everything into order. Which means that, you know, 3 months and you're dead. Lester was initially taken aback, never realized that he's going to leave this world so soon. He went back home and said, okay, I got 3 months, so what do I do now? So he decided that he's going to use the 3 months to understand life. So as he was reflecting, he realized that he had hurt so many people in his life. And he went and he started calling them and said, I'm so sorry I did this. I know it was, but I hurt you. And he started apologizing to people that he had hurt. And as he started doing it, others said, that's fine. We've all forgotten about it. He started feeling better. In fact, his physical pains were starting to reduce. He said, that's interesting. And then he thought, there are so many people who helped me in my life. So he started calling people and thanking them. I thank you so much for helping me here, for giving me the job, to have being such a good boss for me. Thank the family members for looking after him, society people. He started thanking people. And what do you think happened? Started feeling even better. So he asked for forgiveness. And then in his mind, he started forgiving people who hurt him. And if he could speak to them, he would even speak to them and forgive them. But he started forgiving people who had hurt him. He started even feeling much better. He didn't feel any discomfort at all. And he continued to do this. He did a gratitude list. What are the things I can be grateful for? Wrote down the gratitude list, started feeling even better. And 3 months, he didn't wait for 3 months. He went for his next doctor's visit. And the doctor did the checkups and said, there's nothing wrong with you. You're perfectly fine. So he was totally cured within the 3 months, and he lived on till he was 84 years. So Lester Levinson, who was going to die at 42, started releasing all that negativity he was holding on, and that cured him. He was also into prayer and did so many things, meditation, and he started feeling so much better. He then went on and even wanted to check whether this works for business. So he decided, he came with the intention of making $1 million within 1 year. He started a real estate business, used releasing techniques, and we will learn how to use releasing for abundance as well as we go on. And he made $1 million within a year. And then he gave it away. He just told people, look, you take it, I don't need it. He lived with minimals. When he wanted to travel somewhere, once there was a story where he had to go to Pakistan for a particular conference, but he had not got his visa, but he still had to go. He said, okay, I'll go and try. He went to the airport with the total intention that he's going to go on that flight. It's not a want for go on the flight, but an intention that I allow myself to be on this flight. That's how you rephrase the words. Rather than saying, I want to go on the flight, I say, I allow myself to be on the flight. And if God, if beingness decides that I don't have to be on that flight, I will be happy with that as well. I will respect the universe's wish. So with that in his mind, he went to the airport. In the line in front of him, he started talking to someone to see it was a diplomat who was going, also for the same conference. Now, diplomats, for some reason, had the ability to take someone else with them, even without the visa. And he said, okay, you come along, even though you don't have the visa, and he went off. So he would travel if he wants to upgrade himself to a business class. He would just have an intention. And he said most of the time he was upgraded, even finding parking lots. And he was totally at peace because he never got angry or jealous that he didn't get upgraded, but someone else got upgraded. He didn't get angry. So he was totally in peace with the beingness. And because he was in so much peace, he was getting what he wanted. And even if he didn't get it, he was still happy, saying, that's fine. So that's basically the whole idea, the story of Lester Levinson, who introduced this concept to us. My guru, my teacher, Omar Khan, who was Leicester's student and student of some of his disciples over the last 12 years. When he came back to Asia after many years and into Sri Lanka last September, he started teaching us releasing. So for me, releasing is a totally new science. Some of you were there at the NLP training we did, Living Excellence. However, this takes this to another level. So Omar conducted 5 or 6 releasing workshops in Sri Lanka until the pandemic stopped it. In fact, he had scheduled to do one in Dhaka just in the middle of March, which he had to cancel because of the pandemic as well. But I'm happy that I can bring this concept to you today as we go on. So that's basically releasing. So what I would like you to do is concerns and aspirations. I would like all of you to start typing on the chat. What are your concerns you have right now? What are the things which are worrying you at the moment? What are the concerns, worries, anxieties? You can write it in 1 or 2 words, as well as what are the aspirations? What do you aspire to be in this world? What do you aspire to be right now, given the pandemic situation? What do you aspire in the next few days? So I would like you to start typing in things you aspire to so that we could hear some of it. So how soon we can come back to normal life, says Masood. So that's a concern, as I suppose an aspiration as well, where I would say, I aspire to be in a normal life soon, would be safe, health, be corona-free. When the pandemic ends, losing of job can be a concern for some of you. Yes, that's definitely a concern, perhaps. Anything else? And you can even speak out, 1 or 2 of you, whilst others type. I know we have 109 of you, but you all can't speak, but few of you. What will be the business during and after the pandemic? Yeah, but how is it going to affect business itself? What kind of business will you have? So that's a concern. So you have business concerns, health concerns, job concerns. So speak out. Someone is going to speak.
No, it's me, Prarthana. Shall I stop the screen so that you can see everyone?
Yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah. So anyone who wants to speak out, please. I'll also try my video if it works. Otherwise, if it knocks off, I'll go back. Is the video okay now?
Yes.
So could you speak few others? What would be the future business? How soon to be in normal life? Health concerns, yeah, that's a concern some of us have. Anything else? Other concerns? Keep ourselves satisfied with the situation. Could be an aspiration. I aspire to be satisfied and happy with the situation or content. Family safety is a concern and aspiration is a corona-free world. Waiting for the normal situation. Safe health, family, business will be back within 1 year. So that's an aspiration. I aspire for business to be back within a year. Okay, so I think we have a lot of the concerns. Others may be quite similar. But I want you to just think about all these worries. Has worry ever helped you? Think about a time you worried about something. How did worry serve you? Did it serve you at all? What does worry do? Worry, concern makes a concern even more. Correct? Yeah, it causes more stress. So worry is not useful. So what's important is to find a different way of dealing with the situation without resorting to worry or concern. So whilst we have all these concerns, let's see in this 1 week process, how we can start dealing with the concern. So how can we manage children in this situation? So a lot of concerns. So let's work on it. So as we go on, have those concerns and aspirations in your mind. Today we'll be dealing more on the concerns. Day 2 we'll be working more on the aspirations. Okay, but still have all that in your mind. And whatever the tools that are teaching, try to apply the concerns and worries and aspirations into it and move on. So fantastic. So Pratana, can we go to the next page in your workbook? Let's go to the next page and feel free to ask questions as well. Okay. So let's, and I'm sure you must have in the book, you can look at it on the screen. So wanting is lack or the sensation of lacking. So wanting is lack. That means when I say I want something, that means I don't have it, right? It's like something you're lacking. Something is missing in your life. And sometimes we use the word, he's a wanting person, he's a needy person. So who is a wanting or needy person? Someone who is poor. Now we are not poor, we are rich in so many ways. Okay, when you say I want money, that means you are telling I don't have money. But don't you even have 100 taka with you? Yes, you do. So how you start converting is start looking at what you have and appreciate what you have. Rather than saying, I want so much money, I have so much money. Yeah, I want 1,000,000 taka, but I have 1,000 taka. So that's a start. I appreciate it. I have gratitude towards what I have. Take health. Okay? You're worried about a disease that has not touched you. Okay? But say, I have good health. I have good immunity. Okay? I have the ability to improve my immunity. You have the ability to improve immunity by good exercises, good sleep, meditation, the right type of food, taking a little extra vitamin C, ideally naturally. I have it. Right? You must say, I want safety, but I already have it. So want is lack. I hope that's clear. When you say, I want something, and I'm sure you remember from NLP, the use of the word has a big impact on the brain. We remember transformational vocabulary, change the words. Instead of saying, I'm overloaded, I will say, I'm over demanded. So here we are saying, instead of I'm saying wanting, I will say, I have. So want is lack. Want is the desire. Want means I want more, I desire more. That's greed. And when you have desires and greeds, you don't get what is required. The Almighty will hold back what was due to you because of that greed or desire. So want is the opposite of having. So want is the opposite of having. When you say want, it's one energy level. Have is another energy level. It's two different energy levels. So when you keep saying want, 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 you go into the want, the lacking energy level. When you keep saying I have it, I have it, I have it, you go to another one and you sort of create some kind of a magnet where the Almighty, the universe will send you. Pratana, can you hear me? I switched off again because it became unstable. Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so whenever I see the unstable notice come, I will switch off the
Yeah,
video.
I think that's better.
Yeah. So having this, okay. Okay. Want is the opposite of having. Yeah. Having an aspiration in the mind. So you can mute that mic, yeah. So want is holding back from having. When you want something, it holds you back from having everything worthwhile in life. I hope that concept is clear. So Mohammed Shakil, you have said, would you please share the PowerPoint to us for easy reference? It was shared with all of you by HR. It must have come in the email. So quickly check the email from HR to see whether the book is with you. It came with your delegate's brief. Now, if you haven't received it, we can still send it after the session. For the moment, you can look at what's on the screen and make notes of it. So having an aspiration is okay. So aspiration is I aspire for something. Aspiration is aspire to something without the wanting for something. You aspire, and you would have heard that when you pray with gratitude. You pray with gratitude. In some ancient tribes, people did not pray for rain. They prayed from rain. They prayed all as if we already have the rain. They thought about all the rain they had in the past. They went to that mindset and they first thanked for all the rain that they have been given and said that we invite you to provide us a little more rain. So it's about changing of the vocabulary. So when we have a want, we do 4 things. First thing you do is, and Pratana, you can type these things as I go on. So when you have a want, the first thing you do is you repress. When you have a want, you repress. Repress means you hold on to, I want this, but I'm not getting it. So I sort of, that jealousy, the anger, everything you hold on, you repress it and worry about it. Okay. Is that going to help? Obviously, no. Or the second thing you might do is you express. When you have a want, you express it. You get angry and say, this is terrible, how come I'm not getting this? I'm not getting this job. I'm not getting this money. And so you express it. And that causes a lot of anxiety and anger as well. The third thing is you try to escape from the situation. You hold that want inside and try to do something else. Thinking, okay, I'll focus on something else, so this will go away. It doesn't go away. It goes further inside. So express is the third one. So you repress it, express it, or escape. The fourth option is release it. When you have a want, release the want without keeping it and create space for abundance to come in. So I'm sure if you think about your life, some of you may be repressing the wants you have, expressing, and sometimes wanting to be safe, and you're thinking that is natural. You say, release the want and say, I already have the safety. And of course, it's not about saying I have it and go crazy and do all the unhygienic things. You, from a position of release, you do all the health guidelines, the mask, the gloves, the sanitizers, the social distancing. You still do all that, but do it not with fear, but do it with gratitude. At least we have been given by Allah, by the universe, the knowledge on how to keep ourselves safe. So I'm grateful for that. I have that knowledge. So I will now use that knowledge and look after myself, my family, my team. And I welcome safety. I welcome safety. Okay. So that is how you start releasing. Wayne Dyer, one of the motivation gurus, once said, we don't get enough of what we don't want. Just think about it. We don't get enough of what we don't want. Not what we want, but what we don't want. If you don't want something, we don't get enough. We want more and more and more of it. So therefore, letting go of it helps you to feel comfortable, content with what is there. 2 stories to illustrate what I'm talking about. One from Lord Buddha and one from Prophet Muhammad. Lord Buddha once was meditating, and as he was meditating, a man came and tried to insult him and abuse him. Lord Buddha just continued to smile and continued to meditate, and that man was continuously trying to insult and abuse, and nothing happened. At the end of the meditation, Lord Buddha opens the eyes and asks that man, now tell me, if you gave me a gift and if I didn't accept it, whom does it belong to? Whom does it belong to? The person giving it. He says, similarly, you're giving me insult, abuse, I'm not accepting it. So therefore, it belongs to the person giving it. So sometimes when you have negativity coming to you, why do you have to accept it? Someone might try to insult you. Why do you have to take it? If you don't take it, the insult goes back to the person giving. Someone tries to make you angry. Why do you have to take the anger? Just, be peaceful. Release that. It will go back to the person who is giving it. So the idea here is let go. Let go. Don't take something you don't need, especially all the negativity which you have. The other story was related to Prophet Muhammad. And when he was once going, when he goes from his house with his disciples, I'm sure some of you heard this story. There was a man who was throwing garbage from the house. And always the garbage comes on him. And he keeps throwing garbage every time the Prophet goes. Now, the Prophet did not go to repress it or express getting angry and shout, why are you throwing garbage? He didn't try to escape and go in a different route. He just released it and he continued to go. Now, one day when he was going, there was no garbage being thrown. He stopped and thought something is wrong. How come this person is not throwing garbage today? And he told his disciples, let's go and check. And he goes inside the house to find that this person was totally unwell. He was sick. And then the Prophet said, please let's take this man and to the doctors and get the required medicine. And the others were totally confused. He said, how come? This man was throwing garbage at you. And the day you didn't get the garbage, you go and find out what's wrong with the person. And knowing that this person is in trouble, you're trying to help this person. What kind of philosophy is that? And that we think is released. He totally released it so that, you don't go with it. And perhaps one more quick story. There was this two Buddhist monks walking by the river, an older monk and a younger monk. They came to a point where there was a lady who was struggling to get to the other side. So the older monk said, you stay here, and he carried that lady to the other side and came back and they started walking. Now the younger monk was looking very tensed and worried. And the older monk said, what's the problem with you? He said, I can't understand. How did you go and touch a lady according to your oath you have given? You cannot do that. You have to be pure. You shouldn't have touched her. I mean, it's not allowed. And he said to the young man, when I left her on the other side of the river, I left her there totally. But you're still carrying her with you. You're still carrying that lady in your mind. I have already left. It's released. Okay. So it's all about leaving things behind. Things bad might happen. Sometimes you may have to help someone which is going a little beyond your limitations. But at the end of it, you need to release. You do it with a good intention. Letting it go is what's important. So these are some of the concepts of it. So the question to ask what is given in the book is, what value at all have you ever received from this sensation of lacking or wanting? When you had lacking, when you had wanting, did you get any value? So if everyone wants something, it arises from the pain of not having. So then why let go and just have it? You want when you don't have it, you have a pain of not having something. So why not just let go, release, and have it, what you have in life? So I hope this concept is clear. before we start moving into some of the techniques. Can you go to the next page, Pratana? So let's talk about wanting and having a little bit. According to Lester's research and learnings, there were 3 main types of wants that we were having. So I want you to go through and think about where are you looking at it at the moment. So first is wanting approval. It's a lack of approval feeling, right? So sometimes we want approval. So I'll give 1 or 2 examples. I would ask others to type on the chat. What kind of approvals are you wanting? So for example, when you want a job, you want approval from the company to hire you. Okay. When you want increments, okay, it's an approval to show that manifestation that is something given to the good work you have done. When you want people to say, appreciate you, you did a good job. Let's say sometimes you make a good job, like do a good sale or improve something, efficiency. After having done that, you're waiting for your boss to say, well done, great job. So that's again wanting approval, wanting approval. So wanting to be selected for a team, for a job, for a project, wanting appreciation. And if you're getting upset, thinking I wasn't appreciated, he was appreciated, she was appreciated, but I didn't get the appreciation. Yeah, so that's the example I'm just giving. Altaf has wanted an example. I'm giving the example right now. So the example is this. You want appreciation when you do a good job. You made a big sale. You improve productivity. You got a shipment out. We need appreciation. And when you don't get appreciation, you get angry and upset. And when that happens, people will start getting worried, anxious. Why didn't I get appreciated? So you have a wanting for approval. And we have been wanting approval from the time we were children, when we did exams and looking for jobs. But think I already have approval. So I want to think about what kind of approvals that you're looking for. So Minaz, you had a question? Yes.
Now, I don't have a question. I will ask for it.
Okay, I thought I would put a name in. So I hope the first one is clear. So first type of wanting is wanting approval. Second type of wanting is wanting control. Okay. So wanting control is I want to control the customer's decision. That's the wanting of control. Controlling. Can you hear now?
You're breaking.
Ranjan, you're breaking up.
Yes,
Okay,
breaking
right.
up. We can't see. We can't hear, sorry.
Let me wait. Okay. Is it clear now?
Yes, now clear.
Yes, now it's okay.
Okay. Right. So wanting control, perhaps let me, because of the breaking, can I ask Tansy to give a few examples of wanting control? Tansy and Pratana can give a few examples just to fill it up until my internet becomes a bit stable.
Okay. Yeah, so wanting control, when you want a customer to buy a product you want the customer to buy. So you're trying to control. When you want your children to follow your dream instead of their dream or their passion, and you force them, either to go into medicine or engineering or whatever subject that you're passionate about, you're trying to control their lives, and then you want control of their lives, and of course you say, I do it because I love them. But essentially we want to be in control of, again, it's partly love, we say, because we say, I want to make sure she has a good future or he has a good future. But essentially we want control. When you want your team members to do things the way you want it done, when we don't entertain others' ideas, when we say, it's my way or the highway, it's wanting control. When we find that, okay, so we tell somebody in your team to do some work, but then the minute it's not, something that is to your liking or your way, you take it back and say, okay, I will do it. It's a need to control. We also sometimes want to control our spouses. So you go out, your wife calls you 25 times. Where are you? Or your husband calls you 25 times. Where are you? What are you doing? Who's there with you? Why do I hear a voice, a female voice in the background? You could be in a public restaurant for all you can care. But that's needing to control people. Then even children have learned how to control us by, you take them to the supermarket and they see a toy and they start crying, and then you say, no, you can't have it, and then they start rolling on the ground. They want control. So at an early age, we begin to learn to want control, and we just keep going at it. So all our adulthood, we do things to have control. Yeah. So is that okay, Ranjan?
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. Yeah. Thank you so much. Is my voice okay now? Is it breaking?
Yes. No, it's not.
So the third type of wanting is wanting of safety. So wanting of safety is lack of safety. So wanting safety is I want to be safe financially. I need to have financial safety. So I'm worrying about, okay, the job, what's going to happen tomorrow. But if you focus on what you have, chances are you will be provided what is required. You might lose a job, tomorrow something turns up. If you're in that peaceful having mode, or wanting safety from health situations, safety from thieves and burglars. So if you keep worrying about it, am I safe? I'm safe. It creates more danger to those people who are looking for safety all the time. So that is wanting safety. Tansy, you want to add anything on wanting safety? Can't hear.
Yeah. Something that we do with children is, we don't let them go out and explore things, do things they like, because we're afraid, that something will happen to them or it'll bring a bad name on us. So we want the safety from society's, negative eye. So we have, and that's a safety that we struggle with. Right now we also struggle with the need for safety when it comes to, are we going out? When people get close to us, you just keep your distance. It's the wanting safety from, sickness. Yeah, so we're always afraid. And therefore, we are always wanting safety. The reason we take insurance policies, life insurance, wanting safety. The reason we take medical policies, wanting safety. That in the event we fall sick, that we have the safety of our insurance policy. It's not whether it's good or bad, it's the wanting that affects it.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you should not take an insurance policy, but take it with the space of having. I have safety, I further strengthen it with the insurance policy. But if you say, I want this, I'm worried, that's why I must take it, chances of something will actually happen if you have that worry in you. So staying at home it's also wanting safety. Now the thing is this, that is from Prabir Kumar has said, is staying at home wanting safety. Yes, it is. What we are saying is stay at home with the mindset of having safety. I already have safety in my home. And that's why I'm staying here. I'm safe. But if you're staying at home wanting safety, somehow the virus might come into you through a letter or something like that. You heard the story of someone who never went out for 1 month, but the postman had the COVID and he had given the letter, and then finally she had got. So it can creep into your life if you're trying to stay at home with that feeling of wanting safety. Sensei, you want to add something there? Were you trying to say something on that?
Sorry.
Can't hear.
That staying at home is not about wanting safety. What we do have is staying at home is about having safety. And so when you covered the point about the letter, it covered it really well. So yeah, you've done it already.
Yeah,
Ranjan,
so Asif,
Ranjan, if you allow me. Yeah, what's the harm in having this want? I want to be safe. I should stay at home. Where's the harm?
The thing is this, according to the concept, when you keep saying, I want, you're more or less sending the message to the universe that I'm lacking it. I'm vulnerable. So all those messages go out. But what we're only saying is change the way you look at it and say, I already have safety. So I have safety. I'm immune. I have safety in my home. And you're peaceful with the fact. But if you're thinking about it as I want safety, that causes anxiety, that causes worry. And sometimes you might make a bigger mistake because you're looking at the issue from the frame of wanting. So we are saying there's nothing wrong at wanting safety, but it's even better to have the safety, because it can create a lot of danger if you want safety. Because when you want, you're sending the message out to the universe that you don't have it, there's the lack, and that causes anxiety and worry, and you might even make a stupid mistake without realizing it, because you're looking at it from the point of wanting. Is that clear, Asif? I hope that's...
Please carry on.
Yeah. So that's it. So thank you. And again, that's why I said some of these can sound illogical. Okay, it's not logical. We all want safety, yes, of course. But what we're saying is we're giving you a new way of thinking, which might be more useful, hopefully.
Yeah, Ranjan, can I add something onto it?
Yeah.
So wanting safety is like, it's illogical because see, when you want something, you keep running after it. And Ranjan uses a really good example, I think, in Mastery of Self, when he talks about happiness, and he says, if you run after happiness, it just keeps, moving away from you. But if you walk slowly, because you feel you have happiness anyway, it comes to you. So wanting something, whether it's safety, whether it's, security, whether it's control, it really doesn't, if you keep running after it, it's gonna delude you. So you've just got to, let go and say, I have safety. And then it just comes to you. So that's the key about, the whole releasing thing. It's that we already have it. And that mindset. Yeah, Anja.
Yeah. So there are two other wants which we are not covering in this session, but I'll just mention it just for completion. The next want is want for separateness. Sometimes we want to be separate from certain conditions, certain things, certain people, wanting separateness. So when you want separateness, and they keep coming back to you, even all the, those who create, who have sort of taken over your soul, and those toxic relationships. So that is about wanting of separation. Other one is wanting oneness. We want to be one with certain people, with groups, teams, family. When you want one, sometimes the oneness goes away. So go on the basis that I have the oneness. Yeah. So someone says, I want to say something. Biplop, you want to talk? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I just would like to relate one of my current experience with your want and take control and safety. You just ensure me is it okay or not. Suppose just very recently, my house owner told me that he need this house due to some of his unavoidable circumstances. So I became worried about it because during this period, actually, how can I get another house? So however, I found a house just in front of this house, and I met with the house owner of the new house. So lots of conversation we have had with us, and now I want the approval of this new house owner, so that he can approve my want that I want that house. So I'm waiting to get approval from this new house owner to get that house. So is it goes with the want, I think, a want of approval. And take control, if I can relate, yeah. I want to get that house and would like to take control of that because I have some, furnitures and all of things. So I will set it up there and I will take control of that house. So I'd like to relate with the control that I want to control that the space of the new house. And wanting safety, yeah, definitely I want the safety of my kids. So I'm looking after actually the security system of that house, and I definitely want to make sure that the safety I must have that existing concern of safety. So I want the safety of my kids for that new house. So can I relate like this, that want, control, and safety?
Yes. So what could happen in this situation is that because you are wanting a particular house, so you are saying wanting approval, you want the house owner to approve it. But if you go on the mindset saying, I have approval, I already have lived in so many houses, I have been approved by my organization, they've got me into this important job, I have approval of my family, so I have approval. So when you go to that house owner, you go on the basis that already you have the approval, and the chances are you will get approval faster because you're saying that I already have approval. Also, I have control over my environment. I have safety. So if you go with having safety, you will find a house which has all the safety, the security cameras there. Now, by chance, if that house owner does not give you the house, because you are having approval already, you will not get upset or angry about it. You say, thank you so much, I do understand, and you look for another house. And perhaps you might even get a better house than the one which you're leaving, the one which was rejected, because you're going peacefully. And sometimes the universe doesn't give you that second house because the universe has a better house for you lined up somewhere else, which is better, maybe more cost.
Ranjan, we can't hear you again.
Okay, so let me take on from there. So, so if you don't receive the thing you wanted,
so don't worry that I didn't get the job.
Okay.
No approval. I have approval. So because the universe had a better job. Tansy, want to add to that?
No, I was just completing what you were saying, that, when something you don't get what you wanted, that, the Almighty has a different plan, and his plan has no, imperfections. It's all part of the plan.
Okay, is it clear now? It started dropping a bit. Am I clear?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah, that's okay.
So simple example. So you can't stand and sit down at the same time. So let's do this little exercise, right? So I'm inviting all of you to sit down, be seated. Okay, you're seated somewhere. And being seated, consider that that's want. Seated is equal to want. Okay, you're sitting equal to want. So you're wanting something. That's seated. Okay. Now, can I invite all of you to stand up? And standing up is have. So stand up. Stand up from wherever you're sitting for a minute. So standing is having. Okay, standing is having. Okay. Now again, I want all of you to want. Now want. Sit down, that means want. Sit. This is a little exercise for you. Want, sit. Okay. Again, have. Stand up. Have it. Have it. Okay. Okay, again, go back to sitting, want. All right, last time, that's all you're going to do. Now, I'm giving you a little instruction. I invite you to do both at the same time. Stand and sit at the same time. Can you do that? No. You can't stand and sit at the same time. So similarly, you can't want and have at the same time. If you're wanting, you're not having. If you're having, you're not wanting. So the invitation is to go to the have mode so that the want goes away. So we're going to learn today how to have instead of wanting. So at this point, I'm going to invite you to listen to a song. And this song was Lester Levinson's favorite song. And I'm sure some of you would have heard the song, listen to the lyrics. It basically invites you to consider how things are as it is. Okay, Pratana, you can start.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. When I grew up and fell in love, I asked my sweetheart what lies ahead. Will we have rainbows day after day? Here's what my sweetheart said. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Now I have children of my own. They ask their mother, what will I be? Will I be handsome? Will I be rich? I tell them tenderly. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Que sera, sera.
So that was Lester's favorite song, Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future is not for us to see. The future is for the Almighty to see. For us, it's about responding to what happens in a very released mode. so that the best kind of responses and the decisions might happen. There was a quick question from Farid Ahmed, who says, what difference between oneness and aloneness? So it's a different concept. So oneness is basically I want one with the others. Loneliness, there's nothing called the loneliness. I think it's more loneliness is being lonely. So when you're lonely, you actually want oneness. You want other people. But you go on to the basis of having oneness so that your loneliness doesn't go away, doesn't bother you, but it just goes away. For me, over the last 2 months, when I was in Dhaka without the family who was in Sri Lanka, I was feeling lonely, but I did not have a want for oneness because I had oneness. I knew they still love me, even I'm not physically with them. I still can connect with them on video calls and we talk to each other every day on video. So there was oneness. I was also one with the people who were with me in Bangladesh and also connected with so many clients around the world using this method. So there was no want for oneness. I was having oneness. So it's about making sense of it. And perhaps I just didn't feel the 2 months going, although I was alone there, because I was totally having oneness with the world. And with my purpose. So let's go to the next page. So how to release. So I'm going to teach you now two basic, two releases. One is called the basic release. Other one is the kinesthetic release. So I will invite all of you Prathan, if you can take off the video and Tansy and I can do this demo. Is there a way of just getting the two of us on the screen? Or will it automatically happen? So remove the slide presentation.
Sorry,
No, I said to take the presentation out so that the screen becomes big.
Now, okay, right?
Is there a way of having just Tansy and me on the screen? Is that facility available? Or?
Need to check with the IT.
বেলায়েত আমাদেরকে একসাথে দুইজনকে আনা যায় স্ক্রিনে? বেলায়েত তুমি কি আমাকে শুনতে পাচ্ছো?
আমি শুনতে পাচ্ছি, একজন করে আনতে হবে।
Ranjan, unfortunately, I don't think we can do that.
Okay, no problem. Let's do it. So just
only whenever you talk, whoever will talk will come on the screen for that very moment.
Okay, okay. All right, so you can go to the grid view. If you can go on the top right side, you can click on grid view, and then you will see all of us on the screen. So Tansy and I am going to do a little demonstration, and everyone else can also follow what we are doing. So take a pen or some pencil or some gadget, maybe a spoon, something into your hand, like what I'm doing, and hold the pen in your hand like this. Okay, take the pen, hold the pen. You can watch me or Tansy doing it, and tell yourself, I want this pen. I want this pen. I'm not going to let go of the pen, so I'm going to hold on to it and really hold it tight and tighten it as if your entire life depends on this pen, and keep holding it and tighten it, tighten it, tighten it. Now, how did you feel when you did that? What do you feel right now? What do you feel as you tighten this? Anyone?
Tense. Your whole body feels tensed.
Body feels tense, pain. Yeah, okay. Right. Now, I would like you to just answer my questions. And when you say now, let go of the pen. Just throw the pen after answering the questions. First of all, answer me. Could you let go of this pen? Say yes. I want to get yes.
Yes.
Would you let go of this pen?
Yes.
Yes. When? Now.
Right now.
Just How do you feel?
Good.
You feel release? That's what your release is. We are holding on to so many things. It's simply giving you permission. Could you let it go? Would you let it go? When? Now? Right? Okay, so let's try that once more. Take that pen in hand, really tighten it. And really hold on to it. Really tighten it. Could you let go of it? Say yes. Yes. Would you let go of it?
Yes.
When? Now. So that's the basic release. We also call that a pre-release. There are more advanced ones. I'm just showing this just to show. Now we are going to use the basic release for any of the issues you have. So I'm going to do this demonstration with Tansy, and then the same thing, you will call your partner and do it with your partner. Okay? So Tansy, can you think about a want or a anxiety or anything you're holding on at the moment? Think about a want you have.
Yes. Okay.
So is it possible to share that with others? Or can you share something which is shareable? Yeah.
Shareable. It's about wanting to make sure of the team's security and safety.
Yeah. So you want your team to be secure and safe at the moment. Yes. Okay. So welcome up that feeling. Welcome up that feeling. So when you say welcome up the feeling, I'm talking to everyone now, you feel that feeling totally in your body, in your mind. So welcome up that feeling. Could you welcome up the feeling?
Yes.
Would you say yes to that feeling?
Yes.
Could you let it go?
Yes.
Would you let it go?
Yes.
When?
Right now.
And how do you feel now?
I feel good right now.
Good, okay. So simply that. So the steps are this. So first ask your partner to describe a feeling, the wanting feeling you have at the moment. And first thing is welcome up the feeling. So could you welcome up the feeling? Answer is yes. You can write it down. Could you welcome up the feeling? Answer is yes. Would you say yes to that feeling? Yes. So you also have to appreciate the feeling by saying yes to it. Love that feeling, because all those wanting, the anxieties are your inner self trying to give you a message. So accept it. It's part of you. So could you welcome up the feeling? Yes. Could you say yes to that feeling? Yes. Then could you let it go? Yes. Would you let it go? Yes. When? Now. Those are the steps. So quickly call your partner. You just have 3 minutes. Quick call to your partner. Who have, so use your smartphone, maybe a WhatsApp call, video call. Do that same exercise with your partner like I did with Tansy. So you have 2 minutes. If you have any questions, ask me. Others can start calling partner.
বাসার মধ্যে শান্তি কখন এই মুহূর্তের স্ট্রেস ফিলিং তো না, স্ট্রেস ছিল
যেসব ইম্প্যাক্টের কথা বলতেছে বের হতে তো হবে in like a month that will probably be me because আমি বাসার মধ্যে আসতে পারবো।
বুঝতে পারছি আপনি ঘুমের মধ্যে আছেন।
এমনি আসলে বাসায় বসে আছি।
পরিচিত একদম পরিচিত আমাদের ব্যবসায়িক জগতে অবশ্য দুজন ফেরত আসছে, একজন তো ফেরত আসছে বাসা দিয়ে।
যেভাবে পারতেছে, we should like mentally prepare ourselves.
1 minute more. 1 minute.
Can you really mentally prepare yourself for something like this? No, you can, but I don't know if it helps.
No, it helps, but it do not take the entire thing. I mean, it's not totally get it done. প্রথম হচ্ছে কি আমাদের একটা সেশন ছিল,
Are we all done? Let's see a few more. Okay, so you can conclude the call, please. We're still on the phone. I hope that was useful. Is there any questions, comments, observations, anyone, anything which came up as you did this? Any inputs from anyone? I hope that was useful. Yeah, so after you do that, maybe you felt stress-free, I said. Okay, now there's a comment saying my partner said, no, they couldn't get rid of the feeling. So that means you still want to control it. So again, you do the same thing. Bring up that feeling of not being able to let go. Now, when you said, I couldn't let go of the feeling, maybe you're feeling a little frustrated about it. So if the partner said, I couldn't let go of the feeling, you can say, okay, welcome up that feeling. Would you say yes to that feeling? Yes. Could you let it go? Yes. Would you let it go? Yes. When? Now. So anything which comes up, you do it again. Keep releasing. So initially, if it didn't work, release again. If someone says, okay, I felt confused, okay, bring up that confusion now. Would you say yes to that confusion? Yes. Could you let it go? Yes. Would you let it go? Yes. When? Now. There will be initial resistance, but as you keep doing it, you'll start finding that it starts to work for you. So it's not about finding whether this is work or not. It's not about judging to see this releasing works for me, doesn't work for me. If you feel that you're judgmental at the moment, or this is not going to work, bring that judgmental feeling up. Could you bring up the feeling of judgment? Could you say yes to it? Could you let go of your judgment? Would you let go of it? When? Now. So the point we are saying is anything which is there, just release it. And even interesting, the most illogical thing, even if you have a positive feeling, someone said, I felt stress-free. Bring up that feeling of feeling stress-free. Again, say, could you let it go? Yes. Would you let it go? Yes. When? Now. So even positive feeling, release that. Don't hold on to it. More positive feelings will then come. So release negative feelings, release positive feelings, and allow more and more positivity to come in. So that's how it happens. All the time you can release, even when you're driving, you don't have to close your eyes. You can do eyes open, even when you're, watching TV or anytime, you can just keep releasing. Even when you're sitting in a meeting, you're feeling, frustrated, anxious, release it. I feel really angry now. These people are talking nonsense. Could you welcome up that feeling? Could you say yes to that feeling? Could you let it go? Yes. Would you let it go? Yes. When? Now. So that's how a basic release works. I hope that is useful. Okay, so there are some comments. My partner says he lost his energy by pressurizing the feeling and then feeling good. So loss of energy, pressure, then felt good after that. So if a negative emotion comes, release it. Either we are repressing or releasing. We are doing one of the two things. When something goes wrong, we repress it or we release. Why not release rather than just keeping it inside? So it becomes a way of life. Just keep releasing all unnecessary and even the good feelings. Let's do the kinesthetic release, which is the next one. And we are going to do all this together, but I would like Prarthana to come and do a demonstration with me on this. So Prarthana, if you can switch on your camera for the kinesthetic release, which is the second one.
Yes, Samya.
Yeah. So the kinesthetic release, you need to all think about an uncomfortable situation. Think of an uncomfortable situation. Maybe you're having a headache. Maybe you have some body pain. Or maybe you're having, you're uncomfortable because you're having a conflict with someone. Maybe a conflict. Maybe you had an argument with someone. Maybe you're worried whether your groceries will be delivered on time. Any uncomfortable situation. Think about something. Okay? So Prarthana, can you think about uncomfortable situation?
Yes.
Okay. Could you briefly describe it?
Thinking of all the things that I have to do.
Okay. So you have a lot of things to do.
Of things.
Yeah. And you're thinking about it, you feel uncomfortable. There are too many
Yes,
things.
feel uncomfortable about it. Yes.
Yeah. So many to be done with it. So there's a bit of a discomfort at the moment.
Yes.
So you can close your eyes for this exercise and feel that feeling of discomfort totally. Feel it in your feeling center. Feel it in your heart. Totally feel it. Okay. Could you welcome up that feeling? Say yes.
Yes.
You are ready? Could you say yes to that feeling?
Yes.
Okay. Now I would like you to open all your doors and windows of your soul. So physically imagine you're having a window right up there, door up there. Just open the doors and windows of your soul and allow that feeling to go away. And as it goes away, just breathe out. Breathe it out and just allow it to completely go away. How do you feel now?
Feel good. Feel it. Yes.
So when you say kinesthetic, it's about feeling. You feel it and you open up, you imagine, you visualize that there's a door and window to your soul. Just open up the door, open up the window and feel that negative energy just going away. And as it goes away, just blow it up, feel. So let's do it all together now. All of you watch how she did it. Let's all do together. So I want all of you, I invite all of you to think about an uncomfortable situation. You don't have to say what it is, just think about the situation and completely feel that discomfort in your body. Feel that discomfort in your body. Maybe it's that anxiety, the discomfort, worry, concern, anything. Feel that discomfort in your body. Could you welcome up that discomfort? And even though I can't hear, just say yes loud.
Yes.
Could you welcome up? Yes. Could you say yes to it? Yes. And now I invite you to open all the doors and windows of your soul and allow all that discomfort go out of your body as you breathe it out. Let it go. And I hope you feel good as you do that. So that's another type of kinesthetic. You just bring up the feelings and let it go. All right. I hope that was useful. You can open your eyes now. Now there's a question, what if I have body pain? In the next session, we are going to do something called the holistic release. That is for all ailments. That could be for headaches and body pains, but you could still try the kinesthetic release for body pain, but we just did it. It will have some impact. So feel that body pain and just feel it there, welcome it, accept it, love that pain which is there in you. Would you welcome it up? Yes. Could you let it go? Yes. And then open all the doors and windows, let it go. So try out that for the body pains, but we have a more specific one which are going to do on day 2 when we come back, which is about completely feeling, and it's a holistic release. Okay, so that's another one we will keep for that, but try this for now. Let's go to the next page, Pratana. By the way, it was supposed to be a 2 hour, not 1.5 hours. So I think you can, I hope you can manage to give that time, and I hope it's useful. So in this page, you see the emotional ascent. Emotional ascent is about the types of emotions we carry starting from the bottom. So whenever we have an issue, sometimes you have an emotion called apathy. Apathy is the lowest form of emotion, apathy. And apathy means where you feel, oh, there is no use, why bother, I'm powerless, nothing will make a difference, I don't have any control over this pandemic, whatever I'll do, I will get affected. And, you know, so you basically totally given up. A lot of people go into deep depression, even suicidal sometimes, when you go down to the lowest form, which is apathy. Now, the next level above apathy is where when you start doing something about it, you start feeling about the hopelessness, and there's something called grief. Grief is when there's desire for someone to come and save you and help you. It's about sometimes this is where you cry and let the tears go. This is when you have deep wounds about a situation. There's grief. Sometimes we have grief when we lose a loved one, and sometimes there's grief with regard to the things we couldn't achieve, things we are missing out because of the pandemic. Grief. So grief is kind of a deep sadness, which is also not very helpful. But the way you get out of it is, again, I'll talk about way to get out of it as I finish it. The third one is fear. The fear, and by the way, I'm going bottom up, right? So apathy, grief, fear. Fear is that there's a desire to reach out and to pull back because we think that we might get hurt or we might lose. Sometimes we want to retaliate for the grief we are having. So there's a fear. Okay, so that's the third level. So you have apathy. Sometimes grief comes, which is better than apathy. Fear is even better than grief. You're not now in a grief situation, but still you're having fear. But still, these are negative. After fear, you think, you know, I must go and get this done. So it's called lust. Lust is a desire for possession, wanting to have it, a craving for something. You know, I'm going on that holiday, I'm going to go eat in that restaurant, I must have it, but with an underlying feeling of unworthiness. Lust means you're unworthy, so you sort of run behind it. And when you get it, you feel worthy temporarily. And again, I want more of it, right? So that is lust. Now, sometimes after lust, you go to the next level, which is anger. You're angry about the situation, angry that I'm not getting what I want to get. So desire to lash out or hurt someone or destroy the other person to assert your power. And sometimes you go underground and go into stealth attacks, like guerrilla tactics to, do something behind the back to make someone look bad. So all that is anger, which is also not helpful. And then the next emotion is called pride. Or you get out of anger and you sort things out temporarily, you have pride, desire to keep ourselves above others. I am better. You know, some people, when they say, I don't have any ego, that's a pride. Because of course, I never get angry. And you're trying to prove that you are better than everyone else. Unwilling to concede our position or allow others to grow past us. So we do our best to maintain the status quo by juggling things and judging others and needing to feel superior. So that's pride. So all these are the steps of the emotions we carry. And if you take the acronyms of this, AGFLAP is ag flap. So easy to remember. Remember, this is the ag flap emotions. So when you're in the releasing community, talking to releasing people, if they ask about ag flap, they're talking about your negative emotions. So let's talk about, let's have maybe a conversation with you all. Can some of you switch on your mics? We want to talk to you. Okay, so I'm asking you, what do you think you should do when you're having apathy? Or if you had apathy, what did you do? Any ideas from anyone? Apathy. What would you do when you're having apathy? When you feel that everything is hopeless, nothing will work. What are the things you have done in that kind of situation? What is the response to it? Anyone? Anyone, Pratana and Tansy can respond as well until we wait for others so that the conversation
Ranjan,
starts.
can I share something?
Yeah.
Yeah, once when one is apathetic, it influences the other people around him or her.
Yes, definitely.
Rather than it is affecting me a lot, it will affect the other people around surrounding me.
Yeah. So the energy spreads around. So anything, any ideas you have with regard to dealing with apathy? If you feel apathetic, what can you do to get out of that?
Maybe a lot of, maybe not a lot of, but a meditation, a regular basis meditation might help.
Yeah. So some meditations, doing something little positive, even simple things like just getting up and going for a walk, doing something so that energy starts flowing. Maybe drawing something, listening to some music, try to take a little step. Then the brain gets a signal that we are moving out of it. So apathy is doing something, taking a little step, which something you might interest. Maybe it might take 2 minutes, but just take that. It will start creating a positive spiral. Yes?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. Nice to see you, Ashwaka.
Yeah, I was with you all around.
Yeah,
But,
thank you. All right. Can someone talk about grief? What do you do when you have grief?
When I feel grief, I try to pray. It's that, yeah, pray to Almighty.
So you try to?
I'm trying to pray to Almighty to remove this grief.
Prayer will help. Definitely pray. As well as grief, you can find other people who are in grief and listening to other people, helping other people. So sometimes it helps when you're in that situation to connect with someone who are in a similar situation, and then that whole process helps you to start getting out of grief. The third one is fear. What do you do when you have fear? Anyone? So fear, let me, yeah.
Ranjan, normally I try to avoid the sources of fear. Say, for example, first couple of days, I started watching the pandemic newses. But nowadays, I do not watch for the pandemic newses.
Yeah.
Because the more I see the newses, the more I get depressed. So I stop seeing all the newses, and now I think I'm very fine.
Yeah. So that might definitely help to avoiding it, but that also goes to that third level, which is called escape. I escape that by not watching it, but sometimes internally it might be boiling, but it would have definitely helped you. Earlier ones would have been even worse. Of course, and one way you do it is if you take the acronym FEAR. FEAR stands for false education appearing real. It's a false education. Even all the world meters and the numbers and all is actually blown out of proportion. Not that some numbers are fake anyway. and some numbers are higher than real for some intentions, some are lower. It's only a few countries give the correct numbers anyway. And also sometimes the fear of the unknown. You think this might happen, that might happen. That's false education. So being in the present, focusing on real facts. So when you have fear, look at facts. Be curious than being concerned. And all that will help you to get out of fear as well. And of course, for all this, releasing is the best form, but I'm first talking about the techniques you're currently using. When there's lust, what do you do? Like when you have a craving for something that you maybe can't afford, or when you can't get it, what do you do when there's that feeling of wanting something badly? So sometimes it's about, rationalizing. What is the benefit of it? How much is it going to cost? Is it going to be helpful? So switching to the rational side. And sometimes just doing it. Let's say you want to eat chocolate, go eat it. And then you realize, okay, that was not too good. I shouldn't have taken it. So sometimes just allowing yourself to suffer the consequence might teach you as well, or to rationalize the benefits and the negatives of doing it. Let's go to the next one, which is anger. So what do you do for anger? Anyone? Anger? Is there anyone who has an idea what you do when you get angry? So different things. One is, of course, practices like you take a punching bag and keep punching it, or write everything you're mad about in a paper, tear it. Some of those NLP techniques we use could be useful as well. But also things like, taking a glass of water, sitting down, taking deep breaths, prayer, meditation. So there are various methods I'm sure you must be using for anger. Then we go on to pride. What do you do when you have pride? So try to be humble when you're in that situation. Say, okay, fine, this is a temporary thing. There are other people who are even better than me. I should not be as proud. Can I use this to help others? So being of that helpful nature, doing something to support people, all that, makes you get out of the pride. And that takes you to the top 3 positive emotions. C is courage. So courageousness is willing to step out without fear or hesitation. So when you're courage, you're acting without egg flap. Courage means it's not about I'm angry and I'm going to do something, or I'm fear, or because I really lust this, I'm doing it. The courage is without any of the egg flap, I am doing what has to be done. I will speak out when there's injustice, but not with anger, not with grief, not with pride. I'll speak with courage. I'll speak so that I'm totally released when you're in courage. So in order to get to the top 3, which is called the cap. So you've got the act flap and the cap. So get to cap, you need to be courageous. You need to have with the absence of the others, you would move in. Then you have acceptance. So acceptance is welcoming everything, welcoming whatever happens, because everything happens for good. Loving what is right now, loving the pandemic, loving the economic downturn, knowing that the universe, the Almighty has given that to us for something, for a higher reason we may not even understand. But we still have blind faith that I am accepting it as it is. I love the perfection and abundance of everything to unfold. When I accept what it is, you'll have the peace, the abundance, everything coming into you. So accepting it as it is without getting angry about something, and pride and emotion, just accept peacefully. And that acceptance takes you to the highest level, which is peace. And peace is when you say, I am whole and complete in my beingness. Being me, I'm a complete person, I'm a whole person. one with everyone and everything. I'm one with everyone around me and with everything around me. I'm totally fulfilled in the silent present of now. When you're silent, you feel totally fulfilled. You don't feel any emptiness. You don't feel any lacking. And you're in peace with the big I. Big I is the Almighty. The small I is you. The big I is the beingness, the universe, the Almighty. You're one with the universe. You accept that everything which happens, although logically I feel this is not right, something good is there behind it. Accepting what it is. So that is basically the cap emotion that we get into. So I hope you kind of understand and see the benefit of trying to be in cap. And how to get to cap is you release all your flat emotions and then move into the cap emotion. So with this, we are going to conclude for today by doing a few things. Before that, if there's any quiet, if there's any questions you have, can you please ask me before we move on to the, finally we are going to do something called a cleanup. It's kind of releasing type of meditation we are going to do together. And then we are going to finish off with another song and complete. So, and also some homework for you to do in the next week. Any questions before I go into that?
I have a one, Ranjan.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I could.
What is the difference between pressure and stress?
Okay, so pressure is good for you because pressure helps you to think more creatively, think out of the box, maybe helps improves your strength, stamina, guts, ability to multitask. So pressure is good for you. But when you look at pressure negatively, it becomes stress. When pressure happens, you say, why me? Why is this happening to me? This is terrible. And that causes stress. So when you release the negativity related to the stress, you become happy and successful. So when you have a pressure situation, there'll be some negativity coming out, release the negativity using these negative techniques. Could I, would I, when, now? And then you start feeling good. And remember, all pressure is good. Even a diamond is a piece of coal put under pressure. Even a diamond is a piece of coal. So when we put pressure on ourselves, we can start shining as a diamond. And that's good. I hope that was clear, Billa? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
And good to see you as well after a long time. Yeah, good.
Thank you.
So, any other questions? All right, so let's move on to I'll first start with the homework. So for homework, what I invite you to do is to go and do a gratitude list. A gratitude list is the list of things you can be grateful for in your life. Okay, what can you be grateful for? Just write a list, gratitude list. Secondly, go and thank people who have allowed you that positivity. Anything people who have helped you, you're grateful for them. Go call them. If they're in the home, just thank them. Simple things, you know, the meal is really good. You always cook such good food. So go and thank people. So be as thankful as possible in the next week. Next one is forgive people who have hurt you. Think about people who have hurt you and forgive them. If possible, directly tell them. But if you can't talk to them, at least in your mind, forgive them. It's okay, I release it. I release what happened. That's the past. I'm letting go of the past. It's gone. Okay? So release any hurt you have by forgiving. And also fourthly, ask for forgiveness. Go and ask people for forgiveness. If someone, if you have hurt someone, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, I did this, I'm sorry, just ask for forgiveness. So forgive people and ask for forgiveness. Okay, and also gratitude list and go thank people. And finally, maintain a gains journal. A gains journal is get a book or something, a notebook or a nice pad, and write down every day in the evening, what did you gain during the day? Okay, I release, I feel less stress, write it down. Anything you gain. I helped someone. I went and said sorry for someone and how that person responded, and your relationship improved beautifully. After you do these exercises, what I said, what are the gains you had? Every evening, write down the gains. So that's called a gains journal, not games, gains, G-A-I-N, gain. Pratana, you can even type that. So do a gains journal. So the homework is a gratitude list, and go thank people, ask for forgiveness, forgive people, and as you keep doing that work, what did you gain? And keep a little note about the gains that you had during the day as you did that. For the entire week or whatever time we are going to be away, keep it so that when we come back, we can feel and share what you did. So that's basically your homework. And next is the releasing cleanup. So the releasing cleanup goes this way. Again, it's like a meditation. So I would invite all of you to close your eyes. Sit in a relaxed way, sit in 90-degree angles, relax, close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, I want you to feel all the negative emotions you're having at the moment, any anxiety, any worry, any discomfort that you're going through. Welcome all that negativity, any wants that you have which has not been fulfilled, any want for control, approval, safety, and even if there's any want for oneness and separateness, bring up all the wants and completely feel that feeling at the moment. And first of all, thank all those feelings, because those feelings are part of you. Those feelings are trying to inform you of something, trying to make you aware of something. And focus on any apathy you're feeling right now related to those situations. Do you feel apathetic? I feel hopeless about this pandemic. This is not going to stop. This is going to affect me very sooner or later. Why bother? Government is not doing enough. World is not doing enough. Why should I bother? So think of all the apathy that you have right now and welcome up that apathy. Say yes to that apathy. Could you let go of it? Yes. Would you let go of it? Yes. When? Now. And think about all the grief you're having at the moment. Things that you lost, you could have been doing, the travel, the going out, the entertainment, maybe you were planning for some special occasion. You couldn't do that. All the grief, they're so sorry that this came right now. Maybe it should have come later. Why is it affecting me? So focus on the grief that you're experiencing and welcome up that grief. Say yes to that grief. Say thank you. Love that grief for being in you. And now could you let go of the grief? Yes. Would you let go of the grief? Yes. When? Now. Right now. And think about the fear you're having. The fear of the virus. Fear of the job. Fear of money. Fear of the future. Fear for your family. Bring up all that fear. And welcome up that fear. Say yes to that fear. Love that fear. That fear is there to protect you in some way. And could you let go of that fear? Yes. Would you let go of that fear? Yes. When? Now. Let go of it. And think about the lust, the things that you crave for and desire that you are not getting because of all these restrictions and lockdowns. You know, that beautiful outfit you wanted for Eid, or the beautiful family gathering you were thinking about, and that new phone you wanted to get, you can't get hold of it now. Think about
We can't hear you, Ranjan.
last. Yes. When? Now. And now think about the anger. What are you angry about at the moment? Angry that this is happening, angry about the decisions being made by the government, by your organization, by your bosses, like any anger which you are resenting at the moment. And welcome up that anger. Say yes to that anger. Could you let go of it? Yes. Would you let go of it? Yes. When? Now. And bring that pride up, whatever the pride you have. Oh, I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm in the right age group, I'm not going to get affected, I got good immunity, I exercise and I meditate, I take good food, I am above everyone else. No one, others might get infected, I'm not going to get infected. Oh, I have enough money to survive, I can manage. Think about all the pride you're having right now, given this situation. And welcome up that pride. Say yes to that pride. Could you let go of it? Yes. Would you let go of it? Yes. When? Now. And think about courage. Say yes to courage. Be courageous to learn something new. Take some decisions. Prepare yourself. Making your home safe totally. Making your social distancing. Think about opportunities you have to contribute to your organization to create that new reality which is coming up. Be courageous. Bring up that courage. Say yes to that courage. Would you let go of it? Yes. Would you let go of it? Yes. When? Right now. And now welcome up the acceptance. Accept what it is. This is God's, Allah's, universe's grand plan. This pandemic was necessary. I accept it totally. I accept having to work from home. I accept the downturn of orders is going to help us to work at a smoother pace for now. Until this is all clear, I accept what is going to be. Accept the feeling. Welcome up that feeling. Say yes to that feeling. Could you let it go? Yes. Would you let it go? Yes. When? Now. And feel that feeling of peace, being so peaceful when you stop trying to control the universe. You can't control the Almighty. You let go and you're in peace with the big I. You're in peace with beingness. Feel that peace because you have accepted courageously and welcome up that peace. Say yes to that peace. Could you let go of it? Yes. Would you let go of it? Yes. When? Right now. And with that feeling of peace, gently open your eyes in peace. I hope you enjoyed that cleanup. We will try to get the video and edit the cleanup part and send it to you, at least that part, so that you can do it every day. We recommend you do, if possible, morning and evening, do the cleanup so that you just let go of all those things which are holding you back and feel great when you start the day and even at the end of the day. And finally, a song to remind us about going back to our real world, being kind and nice to people. Just listen to this song, and after that we can have any questions.
So many things we can't control, so many hurts that happen every day, so many heartaches that pierce the soul, so much pain that won't ever go away. How do we make it better? How do we make it through? What can we do when there's nothing we can do? We can be kind, we can take care of each other, we can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. Nobody really wants to fight, nobody really wants to go to war. If everyone wants to make things right, then what are we always fighting for? Does nobody want to see it? Does nobody understand? The power to heal is right here in our hand. We can be kind, we can take care of each other, we can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And it's not enough to talk about it, not enough to sing a song. We must walk the walk about it, you and I, do or die. We've got to try to get along. We can be kind, we can take care of each other, we can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And maybe we'll find true peace of mind if we always remember
All right, so the only way to get over the hurt and the fighting and everything is just be kind. And I suppose that's linked to the homework we talked about. And so in addition to the 3 homeworks, every time any emotion comes up, release it. Remember, simple release. Could I let it go? Would I let it go? When? Now. Any emotion, anger, or hurt, or even happiness, just release. Keep releasing. Anytime. You can release every time from the time you wake up till you go to sleep. Just release 3 words and out. And then do the specific things. The gratitude list. Thank you so much, Shahjalal, for putting it up. Gratitude list. Thank you, people. Forgive people. Ask for forgiveness, and then keep that gains journal. Whatever you gain during the day, write it. Keep releasing, and be happy. We will let you know as soon as possible when the next day is going to be. Till then, keep practicing it. When you come back the next day, we're going to talk about goals and how to aspire for new things and how to release the goals as well. It's a very interesting process when you come back. So thank you, everyone. And is there anything anyone wants to say before we finish off? Anything, Asif or Shama? It's nice to see you there. Maybe you can say something as well. Yeah. Anyone? Okay, so if nothing has to be said, go away in peace.
Thank you.
Release.
Thank you, Ranjan.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Ranjan, thank you so much. Ranjan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Asif. Thank you. I can hear and see you.
Usually, thank you so much. It was a nice one. Usually, before we conclude any of our program, we open the floor. We open it for the entire audience. If anybody wants to say anything. I think Bilal, can we unmute all of them? And if somebody wants to say something, we'll take another. We'll take about 5 seconds. I think you mute them and ask them if anybody wants to speak out. কেউ যদি কিছু বলতে চান তাহলে একটু বেলায়েতকে মেসেজ দেন অথবা রেজ করলে আমরা আপনাকে আনমিউট করে বলেন। দুই একজন বললে যদি কারো কোনো অপিনিয়ন থাকে, বলার কিছু থাকে।
কারো বলার থাকলে আনমিউট করে বলেন প্লিজ।
বেলায়েত, আমি প্রথমে বলি কিছু। With Ranjan, first I'll say that in English, later on in Bangla. So I seek forgiveness from all my colleagues here who are listening. আমি সবার কাছে ক্ষমা চাচ্ছি যদি কাউকে কোনোভাবে কখনো কোথাও দুঃখ দিয়ে থাকি।
আপনিও আমাদের স্যার ক্ষমা করে দিবেন ঠিক এই সময়ের জন্য, খারাপই যাচ্ছে। আপনিও স্যার আমাদের ক্ষমা করবেন স্যার যদি আমরা কোনো মানে অনিচ্ছাকৃতভাবে কোনো অন্যায় করে থাকি স্যার।
Anyone else?
Thank you so much. I heard a lot about releasing before this session, but I was waiting to do this session. Finally, I got it, and I hope that it will help us a lot in this pandemic situation, really. And that it's a nice session. So thank you again.
Thank you, Minas. Anyone else wants to say something?
Bilal, can you hear me, Bilal?
হ্যাঁ, শুনতে পাচ্ছি, বলেন।
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, Ranjan, yeah, definitely. I enjoyed a lot with this session, and there is a lot of learning issues. Just to address the problem and recognize the problem, and if can nothing to do, then releasing it. So definitely, it helps a lot for the mindfulness. And this during this pandemic situation, you know, the whom what they have given to us, the gratitude, others, to thank people, and ask for forgiveness. Actually, if a person continuously do these things, automatically the person will be in focus. So thanks a lot, and hope to see you again. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, Ranjan, thank you for your nice presentation, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
We have learned lots of things, new things, and old things also recover again. But one thing I want to actually know much better, that is apathy. How to develop my apathy skill. Actually, it's a one kind of skill, I say. And I hope you will give a such kind of demonstration and such kind of presentation for in future in a big volume or arena covered by big example or big practice, which is actually give us the a particular style or particular instruction which is actually developed our apathy. I think if we develop our apathy, lots of our problem automatically solved.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's actually about, I think it's just the use of words. It's about learning to overcome apathy, learning to overcome apathy. We don't want to develop apathy, but develop a skill to overcome the apathy. And the first skill is to actually just doing things purposeful, finding what is your purpose, what is your bigger reason you're in the world. Take baby steps into that purpose. That will start helping you, and then you'll get all the divine energy and help. Please go to my blog. I have also sent you 2 links. One link was an article about releasing in the delegates that I hope you read it. You can read it again. Now you'll understand that even better. Also, I have given you a meditation, releasing meditation. Also, I have given you the link. So please use those. All of you get your friends also to use. With more and more people in this world learn releasing, I think it's going to really help so much. So, and also in my blog, you will see about purpose, how to find your purpose, write your purpose. So it's ranjandesilva.blog. You can go into that and go into it. So I'm sure, but please feel free to connect with me anytime directly. If you want to send me a message to ask any question, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.
Hi, Ranjan. This is Mainul.
Hi, Mainul. Good to see you.
Same to me. Same to me. Actually, I have, by this time, I have retained a lot of issues, but before this session, actually, it was retained. So instead of retention now, actually from this session, I could understand how to release actually. So retention always not good. Actually, releasing is the good. So those I have retained, I will try to release.
Release one by one.
Yeah, release one.
So that you can be like a newborn.
Yes, it helped me actually. The session was nice. Thank you very much. Thanks. And I wish you will back to your home very soon from the quarantine.
Very soon, inshallah. Thank you. Anyone else? Good. So in that case, we can conclude. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here and being here so long. We had 2.5 hours. The more, the better. It's so close to my heart now. I could do more of it for you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Ranjan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. See you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
See you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ranjan.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Yeah, thanks, Asif.
সবাইকে খোদাহাফেজ, সবাই খোদাহাফেজ, ভালো থাকবেন, সুস্থ থাকবেন বা থাকার চেষ্টা করবেন। আবার দেখা হবে ইনশাআল্লাহ। খোদাহাফেজ।
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gautam.
Yeah. Thank you. Good session. I enjoyed it.
Happy that you liked it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll soon next session.
We will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ranjan and everybody. Your team.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Bella, for all the IT support. Nice to see you, Sumon. After a long time. Kabir,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mr. Ranjan, thank you very much. It was a very nice session we all had.
Thank you, Masu. Good to see you.
Yes, and thanks to your team as well for giving us such a good presentation.
And was that your wife watching you?
Yes,
Masu?
yes.
Thank you so much.
Beside me is my wife. I have invited her after you were saying family can join. So I have invited her to come here. It's a good learning for both of us.
Yeah, it's good for family as well. Yeah, even for
True,
children.
true.
Lock time town. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, nice
Use
to
it,
meet
yeah.
you. Thanks. Okay, thank you so much.
Since both of you are there, you can practice this now, the releasing techniques and.
No, it is. It will help us because in here the want of safety, the approval, this wanting, we didn't know all this definition it has. I mean, only after having this presentation now we could understand the levels of it and how to approach on from which level. So it's going to help us a lot.
Definitely. Yeah.
Thank you.
And if there's anything to connect with me, I'll be happy to.
We will. Hopefully in our next session we will have more questions.
Definitely. Please come with lots of questions.
Hello, Mr.
Yes, thank you.
How are you?
Thank you once again.
Hi, how are you, Jahangir?
Yes,
Good
I
to
am
see you.
fine.
Yeah.
Good program.
As usual, your solar panel is shining.
Oh, okay, everything, because I try to manage my wife. So as it is. And today, very good program on present situation. Thank you. And at the same time, your team also. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye. So thanks everyone. I need to also log off now. So please excuse me as I leave. Thank you so much. Thanks for staying.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
See you. Bye. Bye.